Hi everybody, it's Diane coming to you from Texas, and there's probably going to be jiggling with this video. I'm sitting in my bed, I'm not in my car, and my pugs Lucy Lou and Birdie are in the process of moving around. So if you hear noises, strange noises, it's Birdie or Lucy, so please forgive me. And I have a fan in the background, so trying to talk loud over that. So every time I get like halfway in, something happens. So I'm going to try and do this pretty quickly and then follow it up with a longer video, maybe in my car, so it's just me. Anyway, wanted to do some splaining about why I've kind of been off the chart or missing in action, so to speak, and just posting very few videos and very short videos, just to let you know that I was alive and kicking. One of the worst fears that I've had for years is to be laid off, and it happened to me after 38 years, unexpectedly. I guess no one expects it unless they announce it, that that's going to happen, and you know it's going to, a potential. Totally caught me off guard, and it's really taken me somewhat of a long time to be able to talk about it and not cry. I can't promise you I won't cry. But yeah, that's been about 6 weeks ago, and still working through my next steps. So looking for something good to turn out of it. Totally out of my control. You know, like they say, dancing or performing, lay it all out there on the floor or on the field, or and that's what I did. I gave it my all, even when I was sick. Worked tremendously long hours, and so, you know, all I can say is I gave my best, and it's not what I expected, and have kind of having to pick up and figure out, you know, the next part of my life. So I'll take you through my journey. Hopefully there'll be some happier news, you know, out of it. I do think things happen, and God can turn something that's really bad into an opportunity. So trying to look at it that way. But it's kind of like Murphy's Law, you know. In my case, there was like a 2-week notice of it occurring, and once you're terminated, you have no insurance. And of course, Murphy's Law, haven't been to the doctor very much or anything, or any major issues, and about 2 weeks ago, my crown flew off. So just those medical things that, you know, you're used to having some type of coverage, and right now I have not worked that out. So and then the other night, I was craving pot roast. I decided, I think I'm gonna make it, and I had this really nice iron cast, enameled, or however they do it, casserole thing, and it was a big roast, and I, you know, had it in there cooking, and I wasn't doing it in the slow cooker because that always kind of has like a funny taste to it. So I took it out of the oven, gonna put in the vegetables, and thought I had placed it someplace that was going to hold the weight of it and be secure. Well, nope. It went tumbling down, so to speak, and it was like there was no stopping it. It was really heavy, and, you know, it was in the oven. I don't know if it was boiling, but I jumped back as quick as possible, and it was in the evening when I was cooking. I had pajama bottoms on, so it protected me somewhat, but it could have been a whole lot worse than it was. But immediately thought, oh my gosh, you know, it looked, it hit my thigh, you know, probably an area like that big, and called, you know, phone a friend to look up what to do, and definitely was not going to go to the emergency room and have thousands of dollars of cost, if not, you know, if I could prevent it. And came up with some advice on first aid for it, to get in the bathtub, to have like lukewarm water over it for like 20 minutes, and that was to help with protection of the nerves. And so did that, and then it said to, it sounds crazy, but to get cellophane wrap or saran wrap and wrap it around the wound, so when you sleep at night it wasn't gonna get the friction from the sheets. And I actually did that. It said to, if possible, you know, it was on my leg, keep your leg from not going under the covers. I just couldn't do that. So but I did the saran wrap and it really did kind of work. It never did like blister up or anything. I can see where it happened, but it could have been so much worse. So just Murphy's Law. You just, when things go bad, sometimes, you know, it just keeps on going. So hopefully turning the curve on that, trying to figure out next steps, and that's still in process, but I'll keep you up to date, and trying to figure out, you know, where I go from here. Maybe in the future, I don't see it in the next couple of years, but I'm thinking about maybe doing an Etsy shop. And I do make some handmade things, and but anyone that knows anything about being a seller on Etsy, what you do about the taxing for different states, different countries, all that kind of financial aspect of it just really freaks me out. So I'll take any tips. So right now, career after 38 years, just trying to figure out which way to go. So that's been a primary aspect of what's been going on with me. And I am like totally lost with what I've already shared and not shared, because like I said, this is the third or fourth go at this. So if I'm saying anything, repeating it, it's not because I have dementia. It's because I've just gone through this, gotten to a certain point, and then the dogs knock over the camera or whatever. So hopefully I'm not going over a ground that I've already touched on. But I have, with this downtime, as I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do going forward, I have gotten the urge to pick up cross stitch again. And I want to thank all the Flosstube viewers, if there are any out there, that have stuck with me through probably like a year worth of not doing much cross stitch, that haven't abandoned me and stayed subscribed and viewed, and I really appreciate it. It warms my heart, and I really appreciate it. I think I said on the last video, you know, a real big surprise that I got a text from a person that I had known at Gracie's former stables, and she's like, gave me a task. It's like, you have to put up a video like today. And it made me feel good that somebody out there cared about what was going on with me. You know, was I okay? Oh, Lucy's coming to the party. I don't think she'll come up here, so to speak, but she's wanted to be part of the show. Yeah, she's my black pug. You can see cute little pictures of her on my Instagram, Lucky Gardenia, or Facebook, Diane Rivera in Louisville, Texas. Anyway, she's up here saying, "Mama, what you doing?" Anyway, so I'll work around the distraction, but have not been doing any ukulele playing. Need to get that back out. My sister came in town for Robin's, my oldest daughter's, beautiful wedding, and her birthday's in August, and I've been trying to see if she wouldn't take a stab at learning the ukulele. So I knew she wasn't going to buy one, so I bought one for her for an early birthday present, and since she was going to be here, I could hand it off. Once things settle down, maybe do FaceTime with her and learn it together. Anyway, hopefully we'll get to do that in the near future. But going back to Robin's wedding, there's some video that I've taken, and I think Birdie's about to jump off the bed, so it's going to shake again. Sorry. Anyway, on Instagram and on my Facebook, sorry, my hair looks, I went out walking tonight, I went to Walmart, late night shopping, had a checkout. I always thought it'd be fun to be a checker, but I don't like to do self-checkout, and if you go after a certain hour, you're going to do self-checkout. So I did that tonight, and I was out and about because I'd gone to meet a friend to go walking and to catch up on things, and I'm going to see if I can get this the lighting any better. Sorry, I'm sitting in my bed with a totally haphazard setup here, so just going with the flow, and hopefully can get to the end of this. Anyhow, there's videos up of Robin's beautiful wedding. She was gorgeous. She had on a strapless wedding gown, and her train, her veil was gorgeous. She looked like a princess, you know, one of the royal weddings. That's hard to say. She just looked lovely, and my other daughter, Jennifer, was the maid of honor, and she looked gorgeous. They just looked like they could be in a bridal magazine. The whole bridal party, the groomsmen, all the bridesmaids were just gorgeous, and I love it when both of my daughters did this, where the bridesmaid picks out their own dress. With Robin, she had like a tonal, they were different tones. I think she had right of approval of the dresses. Sorry. Are you okay, Birdie? Oh, she's gonna try and jump up here. Let me see if I can't help her get up here. Come on. I'm gonna move this for a second so she can get up. Okay, come on. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Well, I don't know if she's gonna jump up or not, but now I've moved this camera. Probably feel like you're on a ride at a theme park or something. Anyway, wedding was gorgeous. Please check out the videos or the pictures. I did tear up the dance floor. I love to dance. They were playing some old BG or disco music, and I was there for that the first go round. So Tracy and I and my niece tore that dance floor up and had a great time. And one thing I can say about both my daughters are they are so fun loving. They celebrated fully, and fun was had by all, and it was just a great celebration, and everyone was just really thrilled that they had gotten married. And Carlos was so handsome as a, you know, my new son-in-law, and all the, it was just gorgeous. And it was outside. There was like a falls. It was at the Water Gardens in Fort Worth, and it was just lovely. Anyway, if you have a chance to check out the videos, please do, because I'm very proud of Robin's wedding. She just really was a gorgeous bride, and I'm just so thrilled that she's married, and I'm pulling for a grandbaby. I don't know about you, but I am like praying every night for a grandbaby. So hopefully that could be in the works. I will keep you up to date. And my Jennifer was a real trooper. She was the maid of honor, and I think all of y'all, if you've watched my earlier videos from January, February, Dylan was in a fatal car accident and still reeling from that. And she, you know, picked herself up and, you know, back at work, working as hard as ever. She's one of the hardest working people I know, and just so smart. And then picked up all the responsibility of being a bridesmaid. And I just really hand it to her. I don't know that I could have pulled it together myself, but both my daughters are really, really amazing, and really there for each other. I mean, I think they have their normal ups and downs like anybody does, but in a pinch, they are there for each other. They live close. I'm so proud to be their mom, is all I can say. It's like, they're just so fun-loving and hard workers, and just fun to talk to. Robin and I just cut up on the you know, chatting at night, and Carlos will come in, he'll be on speaker. It just reminds me of me talking to my mom. So truly, truly enjoyed that. So hopefully everybody pray, if it's God's will, that there's a healthy baby in the future for a grandbaby, and I would be really, really happy. And of course, I already have my grandma name picked out. It's Grandma Birdie. I was not going to be, my mom was Granny, my grandmother was Granny Vera, and then I had Grandma Dag, who was Gladys. And anyhow, moving on. Oh, going back to the rehearsal, celebration, dinner, gathering. My sister and niece did not come in town until Saturday. So at these events, I'm just there hanging out by myself, and it's a little awkward. And you know, it's, you know, you talk with the people, but it's like when you don't have, you know, your family. My parents are passed on, and it's like kind of awkward. And I believe I talked about it back when Dylan passed, that the girl's stepsister has just really been so thoughtful to me, and always makes a point to come up and talk to me and welcome me. And I just told her, you know, she makes a real difference when at events that I go to, or you know, whatever the gathering is, that she really makes a point to reach out to me, and I really appreciate it. And I think I talked about it, how, you know, just look for those people who maybe don't have a huge family to be there with them, and reach out to them, because it does make a difference, because it does get very awkward. And anyway, I was at the rehearsal celebration, and you know, it was kind of in the kitchen living area, and then out in the backyard. Well, you know, where I landed, you know, I just kind of hung out where the girls were and their friends. And finally, by the end of the night, a lot of people had left. And of course, I wasn't drinking because I was driving myself. So I could have used a good drink, I think. But unfortunately, you know, I just wasn't going to do that. So finally, at the end of the evening, I went back. I sat on like the patio swing, and the girl's stepsister was there, and she sat down by me, and it was like, you know, we finally just had an opportunity to run across each other. And she was just so sweet. She was like, "Where have you been? You're one of my favorite people." And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just such a nice thing to say. And, you know, I'm like, really? You know, and she said that she'd been watching my videos, and, which surprised me, totally surprised me. And I thought, well, you know, my videos are kind of all, is what it is. You know, I kind of share everything, good, bad, and ugly. And she had taken the time to actually watch my videos and subscribe. And it's like, just those little bits that come back, and it's like, just make me feel good. So anyway, watch out for those people who you could be a blessing to, and make them feel comfortable and included, so to speak. Anyway, like I said, now that I've had more time, I've actually had some time to think about getting back into cross stitching, and thinking about picking up quilting again and watercolors. So still trying to figure it all out, but I will show you, for those floss tubers who stuck with me, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Some of my go-tos that I've actually stitched on, and then some that I plan to do in the future. It's all kind of flung out here all over the bed. Okay, I've showed these before, but it's been months, so I'm going to show them again. I'm working on this abstract pug, which is just adorable. It's a Dean Russo, and it was a kit I bought. I bought the pattern. I bought the pattern, and then, you know, it had all the DMC that I went out and purchased myself. So that one, I believe I found it on Etsy. And then this other one, I think everybody knows I love Frida Kahlo, and it's the abstract Frida. And this one was an actual kit that came with, I believe, the Ada and all the floss for it, but I'm using the pre-gridded, since it's all over design. I just love this. On both of these, I can really, having that grid, you know, 10 by 10 grid, it really helps me be able to figure out, am I doing it in the correct spot? So those two I'm actually working on, and not a whole lot of progress. You know, when you're, I don't even know if it's 16 or 18 count Ada, but it's tiny, and so you can do 200 stitches and it doesn't look like much. So there's not much to show you, but I promise you I have stitched on them. And then I ran across, I'm gonna pull this out, I don't know where I saw this, maybe on Amazon. I'm on Amazon all the time, but I bought one of these previously, and I can't find it's a series of Our Lady of, and this is Our Lady of Vladimir. And let me see if I can take it out. And it's from a company that made the kit out of, I guess, Europe. But I don't know if you can see the detailing. You know, it's like it's aged. I just think it's pretty awesome, if you can see it. And it's called, and here's the company that made the kit. You can, I don't really know how to, is it Thea Governor? Anyway, it's an all over coverage, so I've got several of the pre-gridded Ada that I'm certainly going to use on this one, but it's just gorgeous. Probably be one of those lifelong projects that ever gets done. And then I use this Pick-to-Pat free app on the computer or software, whatever, where you upload a picture and it creates a pattern. And I'm thinking about Perhaps, maybe not anytime soon, maybe in a couple years, but you know, when I really can retire, you know, I think I need some type of income coming in. So I was thinking maybe an Etsy store, and I came up with a name, but I'm not going to share it. But it's really cute, and I was in the car talking to a friend after we walked it. The logo came in my mind, and it's like, this is it. And it's kind of like that, my brain kind of works that way. It's kind of like when I have a new pet, their name comes to me just out of nowhere. So it just clear as day, I know what it's going to be, and kind of excited about that. Totally need to find some books or somebody that could give me the ins and outs of selling things on the internet and how you deal with reporting the taxation and such. But anyway, going back to the Pick to Pat,